Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends. And welcome to this brand new day. And no matter who you are, remember, you are valid. Thumbs up for that. Not a whole lot to talk about, but there are some things I do want to talk about. First off, there is an end of the video where I'm showing off some of the play mats that I made for Tin Helm and Iron Helm. I still need to make up one for 8-Bit Dungeon, and I want to play those to show them all off, so that'll be good on the mats that look cheap and awful. Thumbs up for that. Also, a bit of ingenuity that surprised even my sister. Now, I mentioned the other day that I took the games and books that were on this back table off the table, because it's just a cheap Walmart table, and right in the center where the joint is that's holding the table like together and stuff, that's where all the weight of the books and the games were. And books and games are made out of dead trees, and dead trees are heavy. So I took the books and the games off to make sure that they weren't going to break the table. So I started thinking, what am I going to do to brace the table? Well, I measured the table to see how far off the ground it was. 27 inches. So I went to Walmart to see if they had any shower curtains that were about 27 inches to put underneath. So you got this half the table, this half the table, put the shower curtain right here on the floor between the two of them to support it, and then have it between this way and this way, so it's just right in the center, a fifth leg. Went up there, they had shower curtains that were almost perfect in size. Brought them back, got on the floor, and I'll tell that story in a moment. And yeah, it was like within this far. So just extended it, twisted it to lock it in place, and now it has the fifth leg holding it up. So I got the books and the games stacked on top of the table again. So when I told my sister about that, she was like, I wouldn't have thought of that. So thumbs up. Yay. It's just, I'm glad that I'm able to still do things, to think of stuff, to make things work. That's a very, very good thing. I have been, oh boy, just on a quick aside, last night I took out my garbage. They give you little tiny garbage containers here. I went and bought a big 13-gallon one. And I still fill up the 13-gallon one so fast. But a large part of it is American culture, especially. Everything, the packaging is bulky. And right now, because of the water situation, which I have to get figured out so I can stay properly hydrated, I'm having to buy a lot of sodas to stay properly hydrated. And plastic bottles, which one I have on the floor right here, which you'll see in the showing off my playmats video, everything is bulky even when you squash them down. So it doesn't take a lot of garbage to take up a lot of space. And I'm always taking trash out. Excuse me, my tummy. So that's the way life has been going that way. I mentioned the mats, I meant to just mention that. So yes, with the mats, and then I've got, I want to play Tin Helm on the play mat that I made for Tin Helm. I want to play Iron Helm on the mat I made for 2 mats made for Iron Helm. And then I want to make the one mat for 8-Bit Dungeon. Now that I've got card sleeves on the cards, even though I can't shuffle cards properly, I can now slide 2 handfuls of cards together, you know, like take a stack of cards, divide it in half, and then just smush them together. And now the plastic sleeves will slide against and around each other instead of the cards getting caught on each other and getting damaged. So even though I can't shuffle, I can just smudge the things together and they'll get shuffled. So that's a good thing for card sleeves. Yay on that. So I've got the games that I want to play, and that's a good thing. I do have some things showing up. I do need to buy some more card sleeves, and I wish. I talked a little bit about this. I'm going to show it, and I got like, I have to use denture cream because I use dentures. denture cream unfortunately is one of those things that melts with body heat, and because it's in your mouth, as it melts with body heat, it mixes with your saliva and then gets all sticky and stringy in your mouth. Yay. I have not been able to find anything that's a card sleeve this size. So these this size things for any game are going to stay unprotected because I can't find sleeves for them. But I'm going to bring out this one here. Yeah, I'll show you what I've got and what I'm doing, just so I'm not being boring and awful than normal. I can't even remember now what I was doing, but it's these sleeves, and I think I was just going to show the sleeves. So they're just, this is right before the word bosses. They're just plastic sleeves, and they're good. They're the right size and shape. The problem with these, of course, for the game Tin Helm, is they obviously don't fit this, and so the cards are smaller than there, and yeah, so oh goody. So I've got things and I got stuff and I want to show it off. It is so loud. We are right near a whole bunch of emergency service stuff, and because there are so many nursing homes and rehabilitation centers and the hospital just down the street, there is constant need for emergency vehicles to go by, and it is, as it is a semi-major road, all the emergency vehicles go by. Yay, it gets very loud here, which is why I have to wear earplugs when I sleep. That has helped too. Also, JAYY mentioned that they hope I didn't find it weird or such, that, you know, they only watched my vlogging and not my gaming because they have me separated in their mind in that fashion. My view on that is, I'm just glad you're along for the ride in any way, shape, or form. If you only want to watch my vlogging and you don't want to watch any of the gaming stuff, that's fine. That's great. I do the gaming stuff only because I want to share my joy and love of gaming. I want to show off games that I really appreciate, and I need pillars of habit and routine to hold my life together, and recording game stuff is one of those things. So it's not important that you watch it. I like it when people watch the game stuff because it's stuff that I like and want to share, and sometimes I think I'm pretty witty. And then I just rattle on about stuff that I think is semi-amusing periodically. But past that, sure, it'd be nice if you watched, but you don't have to. Conversely, I mean, you wouldn't be watching this if it's true, but, you know, if you mostly like the gaming stuff but don't like the vlogging, again, I'm just glad to have people along for the ride in any way, shape, or form. Thumbs up for that. So I'm trying to think of any other topics, because every other day, I have closed out the video and all day been going, I meant to talk about this, I meant to talk about that, I meant to talk about this third thing, and it's all gone. So, yay on that. Still though, I forgot to get quarters on Friday. I have a double load of wash that needs to be done. They use quarters on these machines. Sure, if I got the QR code and downloaded a QR code reader from my tablet, I could download the app for the washing and drying machines and then just transfer money from my checking account to the app and then pay for it that way. But if I got to do my wash on their machines, they're going to pay somebody to come out and pick those quarters up. If I got to pay for the wash, they're going to pay someone to come out there and pick up those quarters. Hey, when you're old, you ain't got nothing else to keep yourself amused with. Well, even when young, I would have been doing the same thing too. There's certain weird things I get stubborn about, and that is one of them. So yay on that. So yes, on the solo gaming front, I still have to do, well, have to as in I want to do Caves and Catacombs, the rules lead-through I did. There is another channel, Lucky Sylvie. Her name spelled with an S and a Z, and she non-English speaker, English as a first language speaker. I'm not quite sure where in the it's Europe or Eastern Europe, something like that, which is fine. She does a great job of playing the game. She's doing stuff with like Canva that she's going to be doing a tutorial on so that I can learn how to do it, because trying to learn how to do it from the stuff on the website is overwhelming. And being neurodivergent, there are some things I just can't do. So as soon as Lucky Sylvie gets her Canva tutorial done, I'm going to be doing more digital gaming of the things, just spat there, my apologies, of the things that I have PDFs for. Because while I like dead trees and dead tree products, it doesn't always come across real well for playing the game and showing off to other people. So thumbs up. But as soon as we get Canva, then I'm going to be showing off Caves and Catacombs. So until then, hopefully I'm going to either be doing Tin Helm, Iron Helm, or a more properly shuffled 8-bit dungeon with my own homemade playmat for it. Along with, I still have to do Final Girl with the things I have now to hold everything up. I should be able to do well, except for the lighting, of course. Long-lasting LED lighting that's like a bloody spotlight up there that is so bright. I need to figure out a way to diffuse that. And then that, I don't know what lighting that is. It seems like it might be a fluorescent tube. I gotta do something about that. I need better lighting for back there. That spotlight back there is the really, really cheap desktop table lamps that they were provided here. They have little touch spots to control it, and they suck so bad. So I need better lighting and better lighting control to do really good things. But I've got just about everything, so hopefully I'm going to be able to do one of those tonight. Past that, still just working on my creative stuff, because even though it's likely that I will never do anything about it, for neurodivergent reasons, for possible health reasons, and such like this, likely that I'll never do anything with it. But I've talked about it before, and I'll say it again. You do not have to monetize your passions. Create for the joy of creating. You do not have to make money from your passion. And in fact, I would suggest you don't. Because you don't want to turn something you enjoy into work. Because work isn't fun. And you don't want to take a passion and a joy and make it not fun. So, don't push to monetize your passions. Create just for the joy of creating. I have been creating sheerly for the joy of creating and keeping my mind going. And I have been more creative in the past couple of years than I have been in decades. Create for the joy of creating. With my setting that I have of the inside-outside razor's edge, with the very, very deep lore on everything, I'm just trying to get it out here on video so that people can hear about it. Am I ever going to be able to monetize it? Possible. You know, I could also do a cartwheel. I've never been able to do a cartwheel my entire life. It's possible I could. So don't worry about monetizing your passions. Create for the joy of creating. Thumbs up for that. Don't spend lots of money on stuff that you can't afford to spend. You know, create within your means, but create for the joy of creating. As stated, I create most of my stuff just for the joy of creating, even though a lot of it is not joyous. As I've talked about through the years, there have been plenty of times working on my setting and characters where I have been walking along through the streets at night, tears rolling down my face and hardly able to breathe because I was crying so hard. But then I'm also using my fiction and my fictional setting as narrative therapy, where you deal with your life and your trauma and stuff through narrative therapy. A lot of the stories that I write and do are dealing with the trauma of what's happened in my life. And that's good. That's fine. That makes for some good, compelling art. So, just to remind people, there is the inside, there is the outside, there is the razor's edge. The inside is a complete universe within the one package. There's the outside, which is our universe within the same area that normally would not occur. And when our universes rub together, they create holes, and occasionally these holes connect. And these transition areas are a razor's edge. And people live there, even though it's a transition area. And you'd think, why would people live in a transition area? Well, people live on the beach, and the beach is the transition point between land and water. It's not an actual place. It's just wherever water happens to be on the land. Oh, sure, you might say, oh, it needs little pieces of rock instead of big chunks of rock. Point being, that is the transition point between land and water. The razor's edges, wherever they are, just transition points between the inside and the outside. But on this particular razor's edge, where the gate of it is located in Brookerton, South Carolina, of course has the kaiju caught within it. And the kaiju was a being that over 1 trillion years ago was captured when this razor's edge was formed. Before it was captured, no being of its power had ever been caught. After its capture, until the point of this universe's end, an unforeseeable amount of time in the future, no other being like it will ever be caught. It is a dark and malevolent, fallen and chained god of death and destruction. And it lives within 2,000 kilometers of Brookerton, South Carolina. Of course, it's only about 5,000 kilometers approximately from Brookerton, South Carolina to the razor's edge to the inside. You can travel through these places through one half universe into a complete other universe and be welcomed by the people within. You gotta work not to be eaten by the other creatures within, because there's all sorts of hungry animals and such like that they aren't particularly looking for you to eat, but while they're looking for their prey, hey, free protein. So you gotta be careful. So still working on my settings, still working on my characters, still working on situations. I have still got characters where just as introductory background material, it could be a trilogy of books by any other author. So there's a lot of stuff going up on, I'll try that again in English. There's a whole lot of stuff going on up here in this noggin of mine. Just as there is in everybody's noggins. Thumbs up for that. For each and every person that is a Patreon patron, you are beautiful and awesome people. I'm going to be having names up here again very soon. Until that time, though, you know who you are, and you are beautiful, and you are awesome. Thank you so very much. It is appreciated to no end. Without your help, I would be a hurtin' monkey. Not a hosed Christmas monkey before. Before? Like I was before. God's above, I can English, I promise. Just a hurtin' monkey. But then I'm a non-millionaire American, which means I'm a hurtin' monkey, just like so many other millions of us out there. Yay! For everybody that has left me a comment, thumbs up, thank you, it is appreciated. If I can't answer you in comment, I try to answer in video. If I can't do that, just remember I read every comment, I appreciate every comment, I wish I could answer every comment. It is beautiful, it is awesome, thank you so much. I'm going to try and record something today. Past that, I'm just going to be relaxing, watching videos, taking it easy. I got to go walking, grab some stuff to drink for later today to keep myself hydrated. But other than that, doing not bad. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. Thumbs up for that. So now to fake it again. Yes, you don't turn off the recording by doing what I'm doing. This is you take care. I'll talk to you later. My home is a mess, but I still wanted to show you what I had done as I travel over in this direction. I created cheap and awful paper things. This is for tin helm. You know, so there's all the various places for cards. And then there's two big ones for iron helm. Now they're cheap, they're terrible, they're awful, and they barely fit. But hopefully I'm going to give Iron Helm a shot using this. And I want to do a full real game of Tin Helm without my tablet falling off of the thing that's holding it up and then crashing down onto the board. But I wanted to show that I had spent some time with construction paper and soda bottles, and tape and ink. And so I'm going to hopefully give one of these a shot. Still got to do caves and catacombs. Still got to turn on these lights.